right. Friday, January 30th, 2026. Current time now is 9:37 p.m. Happy Friday. Let's finish where we left off, right? Now, we are currently at the extended stay, right? I get I'm probably not there a week, maybe two, give or take, right? And I still have the rental car. I got another rental car when I was at the hotel. And like I stated previously, I believe we was at the hotel for give or take like a month. And I want to say about 2 weeks in, I ended up getting a rental car at the hotel. But for the most part, I was still on the bus, back and forth to my storage unit, which was all the way across town, still from where the hotel was. And I was actually taking this course. It was called Bank Works. And so this was like a course that was offered through Urban League of Atlanta. So shout out to them. I had started taking this course. I mean, it was so full of valuable information in regards to the banking world. But it was kind of like, a like a little side entrance to get into the banking industry. And so that was what I was actually preparing for, working in the bank. And so I was going through this course, and I was taking the bus down there every day. This was, I would say this was prior to being in the hotel. This was, I want to say, maybe like a month and a half prior to. And then when C-19 hit and we had to transition to a hotel, we were just finishing up the Bank Works course. And so we were preparing for our interviews and getting our resumes and stuff together and things of that such, because I remember having to log in, and I think we had did like a Zoom or something on the computer or on my phone, I believe, when we were there at the hotel. And so like I said, I ended up getting a rental car, I want to say about 2 weeks in. Started driving for Uber, Lyft, and things of that such, just to not only generate some income, but to also kind of build up that productivity. And so it was a pretty nice hotel, to be quite honest. The roommate who I chose, there was only this one issue that we had. And between her and I would say, it was just this one issue. It was the air conditioner. She didn't want to sleep with the air conditioner on. I'm like, it's hot. I let it go. I just let it go. I got to know the area real nice. It was like I said, it was a really nice hotel. Anyway, so our time is coming to an end at the hotel. And of course, Dasho, she is kind of getting everyone into that transition phase. Okay, all right. And so I remember she had hit me up and she was like, hey, I got you an appointment at this transitional housing at this day, on this day, at this time. They already got you, they're expecting you, things of that such and all of that. So you're good to go. Because she had already kind of let us know that our last day. And so I made sure I had all of my belongings and I returned my key and I left and I made it to my appointment. Now this is how timing works. Because the same day that I'm transitioning out of the hotel and I'm transitioning into this transitional housing facility, right? It's the same exact day I have an interview scheduled for Regions Bank. But I said I'm gonna just focus on what's in front of me at the moment. Whoever come first, you're gonna come first. And so I knew what time the interview was, but I couldn't quite predict how things were going to pan out in regards to getting settled into the getting checked in, what that process looked like. It was like an intake and then another intake, and so by the time my interview came up, it was on the phone virtually. The intake specialist who I had spoken to, she had made that connection. Oh my goodness, you have epilepsy, and the only bed we have is a top bunk. So, that's not gonna work out. I'm like, good call. So she had sat me in this waiting area. Technically, it's not a waiting area. It's a desk right next to the exit / entrance that leads in and out to the outside patio where everyone is eating their lunch because it was lunchtime. And that was where I was sitting when it was time to log in. No noise cancellation headphones or nothing. I'm just sitting there. She asking questions, people coming in and out, walking, stampedes. I mean, it was, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And so she had let me know that she had came back out. She had let me know once the interview was over with, because I was going to go outside and sit in the car. But I didn't want her to come out, not see me, not be able to find me, not be able to contact me. She was like, sit right here, give me a second. I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit right here. And I just let it pan out the way that it panned out. She came out, she let me know, hey, I was able to speak to somebody at Partnership for Community Action. She said that they have assistance at the extended stays. You have two options. You can go on Memorial Drive or you can go on La Vista. I was like, put me on Memorial, please. And so she was like, okay, cool. You can head on over there. They're expecting you, all of that. And so I went over there, got checked in, and I think my first day, I probably, like I said, just was driving for Uber, Lyft, whichever at the time. and had my own room, had my own bed, my own space, bathroom, shower, things of this extended stay. And it's on Memorial Drive. And so that worked out perfectly. And so I am just getting myself acclimated, of course, because now I have a coordinator with partnership. And so there's like specifics to be able to meet the requirements to have this voucher for this extended stay. And so I had already told her, okay, well, I'm driving for Lyft and stuff and Uber and things of that such. And so I would have to kind of check in with her every week. And then, of course, I want to say maybe like a week or two while I was there, Chantrice called me. Hey, I got your RTA. You can come pick it up, go through it, and start the process of looking for somewhere to stay. Now, I feel like because this would make episode 9. And I feel like, to me, that would be a nice sort of segue to enter into episode 10, because that RTA process back then, and I want to say this was back in 2020, and this is the initial part. I just feel like it should be because I'm saying this, I'm speaking in the past tense, but now it has actually evolved into a little bit more, not only just user friendly, but beginner friendly in regards to people who may not be totally acclimated with what to expect and how to maneuver through the RTA. But I will say that they do offer a time frame. Hey, this is your RTA. You have this amount of time to find somewhere to meet with the potential landlord, have them completed, and have it submitted. Right? And Chantrice had actually found someone. And she was like, okay, do you want me to, give it to her? I mean, I was like, well, let me go and check it out first. Like, let me just go the neighborhood. And unfortunately, I had to decline because it was one of those neighborhoods where, it's like miles and miles of just congested houses, and it just turn and heal, and I'm talking about all the way deep in the back, like just all the way deep in the back. And it wasn't on the bus route either, and so that was a no-go for me. And so then she was like, okay, well, just keep looking. And so I went on this journey of trying to find a housing prospect that was suitable for housing assistance. It's the scammers for me. This is just not the place that I want to be to run into scammers. Like, not when it comes to my security deposit. I'm talking about application fee, background. Like, this is just not the place that I want to be right now to be trying to deal with scammers. And unfortunately, that was one of those. And I mean, it was just so nerve-wracking because, like I said, you're for one, my time is of the essence. And then I have to sort of like compartmentalize. Okay, I have to spend a few hours trying to like search and call, and this website, that website, this phone number. Like it was so chaotic, because then I had to also drive for Lyft and Uber to make sure that my specialist over at Partnership for Community Action, she was able to kind of see, okay, like she's utilizing her time, and it wasn't until I got into a car accident. It wasn't until I got into a car accident that forced me to sit down and focus and concentrate. It wasn't until then. It wasn't until then. And so there, I'll leave it at that. And we'll just pick back up episode 10. But in the meantime, in between time, okay, love you. Bye.
Suddenly need advice from a